one second. So next class I'll be teaching you one method which is a mathematical calculation, and on that basis we'll be deriving the calculation, right? So with this regard, I have sent you one document. So that is a document. If you can take printout of the document, it is well and good. This I have captured from 12th standard state board, right? So this is called average period method. Okay, it's called average period method. Now it says that if the partner withdraws fixed amount of money at a fixed time interval, point to be noted is if the partners withdraw fixed amount at fixed time interval, interest on drawing may be calculated on the basis of average period method. Okay, fixed time interval refers to withdrawal made monthly. Now they said that fixed time interval சொல்லி சொல்றான் இல்லையா? What does this means? This means that withdrawal is made either monthly or quarterly or half yearly or once in 2 months and once in 4 months, right? So if this is the case, if the amount is fixed, first condition, and the amount, the time of withdrawal is also fixed, if these two conditions satisfy, then we can use average period method to determine the interest on drawing very quickly, right? So what is the formula? Total amount of drawing made during the year. Now please tell me, in this question, what is the fixed amount which the partner is drawing every month? What is the fixed amount? In this question, illustration 12, is the partner withdrawing fixed amount or not? First, that is the question. Is he withdrawing fixed amount or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
5,000 at the end of the month.
Yes. So 5,000 is the fixed amount which is withdrawing, and the period is also given in the question that is withdrawing at the end of every month. So end of every month. So fixed time interval is also given. If that is the case, then I can very well use average period method. So if this is the case, what is the formula? The formula is total amount of drawing made during the year. Now please tell me, what is the total amount of drawing made by the partner during the year? What is the total? You cannot say 5,000 because 5,000 is withdrawing every month. So total will be 5,000 into 12. So total amount is 60,000 rupees. This person is withdrawing 5,000 every month. In a year, in a calendar year, there are 12 months. So this 5,000 is withdrawn for 12 months. So 60,000 is the total amount of drawing made during the financial year, right? What is the rate per annum into 6 by 100? Correct. Now we have to understand what is this average period and why are we dividing this by 12, right? So can we go ahead and understand how do we derive average period formula? Now if you come back to this question, if you see, they have calculated interest on drawing this way. So they've taken the total amount withdrawn. So partner has withdrawn total amount 60,000 into rate of interest into average period divided by 12, right? So are we doing the same formula like them? Paras, Kushal?
Yes, sir.
Am I doing the same formula? I'm not doing anything new. Whatever is given in textbook, I'm doing, right? So in this formula, this is something which you'll have to understand. This is little critical. Now listen to me out very carefully. Now what is average period? If you see average period, it says that number of months from the date of first withdrawal to the end of the year plus number of months from the date of last withdrawal to the end of year divided by 2. Now let's try to understand what this means. Now in our case, what is the frequency of withdrawal? Is it monthly, quarterly or half yearly? Before utilizing this table, you will have to understand that first thing is what is the frequency of withdrawal? Is it monthly?
Yes, sir.
If it is monthly, the second step is whether the partner is withdrawing money at the beginning of the year or at the middle of the year, beginning of the month, or in the middle of the month or end of the month. What is the second one? In our question, the partner is withdrawing
End
money
of the
in
month.
the beginning of the month or middle of the month, end of the month is withdrawing, right? So we have to calculate this. So can you see this 5.5 is the table formula which he has also put it in the answer, correct? If you see, 5.5 is the average period which he has taken, right? So one way is you can buy out this formula, buy out this table, sorry, not formula. You can buy out this table. But I don't believe in by-adding, so I'll take 10 minutes of your time to explain you the meaning of this table, the purpose of this table. Now, Monal, are you facing any problem with regard to joining? You can drop me a text if you cannot speak. Are you able to hear my voice, Monal? Monal, are you able to hear me? Okay. Now, what is the formula of average period given in that PDF, guys? Is equal to this number of months from the date of first withdrawal. Okay, it says that number of months from the date of first withdrawal to the end of the year. Number of months. Number of months. So I need number of months from first withdrawal to last withdrawal, to date of last withdrawal. Now, please tell me in this case, when is the first withdrawal happening? In the month of April. Guys, please tell me in this case, when is the first time the partner withdrawing the money? In which month?
At the end of April, sir.
Correct. So he's withdrawing the money in the April. So this money which is withdrawing in April, will he enjoy for the entire 12 months or is he enjoying for 11 months?
11 months, sir.
Because I'm withdrawing money on 30th April. So money actually I'll be enjoying from the 1st May. So May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, Jan, Feb, March. Who's this?
Please.
Kushal hai, Paras hai?
Paras, sir.
Paras, keep your phone on mute, beta. Now, I want to understand. So my date of withdrawal is April end. So I will be using this money for 11 months. So they want to know what is the number of months from the date of first withdrawal, from the date of first withdrawal to the date of last withdrawal. So first withdrawal is happening on 30th April, and from that I'll be using the money for 11 months. Correct? Right? Further, they say that plus number of months from the date of last withdrawal number of months from the date of last withdrawal to the date. Number of months from the date of last withdrawal to the end of the year. Sorry. Number of months from the date of last withdrawal to the end of year. End of year. Here also it is end of the year. So here they say the number of months from the date of first withdrawal to the end of the year. So here the money is withdrawn on 30th April. From 30th April till end of the year, 31st March, 11 months, this 5,000 rupees is being enjoyed. Similarly, they want to understand that with this, I have to add number of months from the date of last withdrawal. When is the last withdrawal happening? Can I say on the 31st March? For the month of March, this person will be withdrawing money for on 31st March. So from 31st March to the end of the year, which is 31st March, how many months is he going to enjoy the money?
0.
0 months. So this both divide by 2. You'll get 5.5 months. So this means this 60,000 rupees, what this guy has withdrawn in the entire year, on an average, I repeat the word, on an average, the 60,000 is used by the partner for 5.5 months. Are you able to follow? Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So similarly,
Can you explain the formula again, sir?
I'll explain. Don't worry. So they say that a number of months. So I'll put the formula in little neat way. 1 second. I'll erase this off once completely. Only 17 participants are there. Who are somebody has left it? Who's left? 18 is there? Okay. Now the formula is number of months the money is used from date of first withdrawal till end of financial year. The formula is number of months the money is used from the date of first withdrawal till the end of the year. So this 5,000 rupees, the money which was withdrawn, when was it withdrawn? This was withdrawn on 30th April. This was withdrawn on 30th April. From 30th April till the end of financial year. So till the end of financial year, which is 31st March. So how many months did I utilize this money for? 11 months. Paras, are you able to follow? What am I trying to understand is this money of 5,000 rupees, what you withdraw every month. When was this withdrawn? This was withdrawn on 30th April, the end of every month. So from 30th April till the end of 31st March. I think somebody.
Rohit, you have
to put your mic on mute. Rohit. Rohit, you have to put your mic on mute. Okay, I can do that. So, okay. So, Paras, they're telling that when was the first time the money was withdrawn, and from that date till 31st March, how many months has he been using that 5,000? Is it using for 11 months? Yes. The next formula is number of months the money is used from the date of last withdrawal to end of financial year. So when was the last date when the money is being withdrawn? On 31st March. So to end of the financial year, 31st March. So how many months has he been using that money? 0 months, right? So the formula is 11 months plus 0 month divided by 2. If you do, you get 5.5 months. So this 60,000 was been used by you for the entire year to the extent of 5.5 months, right? Let's try to understand this. Let's suppose this money he has been withdrawing in the beginning of the financial year. Beginning of the every month. Guys, I'm twisting the question. In case if this money was withdrawn by the partner in the beginning of the month. Now, please tell me what will be the months. If I'm withdrawing in the beginning of the month. So how many months from the first withdrawal am I using this money? This is the first case. Second. So my first withdrawal is on 1st April. So from 1st April till 31st March, I'll be using this money for 12 months. Now here, the last withdrawal is happening in the month of March. But what is the time of withdrawn? It is withdrawn on 1st March, right? Number of months the money is used from the date of last withdrawal. Last withdrawal is happening on 1st March. So from 1st March to 31st March, how many months? 1 month. So 12 month plus 1 month divided by 2 will be 13 by 2. So what is 13 by 2? 6.5 months. So if you see, come and see this table, I'm getting, if the money is withdrawn on monthly basis and in the beginning of every month, then the period is 6.5. If the money is withdrawn monthly and it is being withdrawn in the middle of the, if it is withdrawn in the middle of the month, then the answer will be 6 months. If the money is every month, but it is withdrawn at the end of each month, then it will be 5.5. Similarly, if the
Sir,
money
I
is...
have a doubt, sir.
Yes, Kana.
Sir, where did that 1 come from, sir, at the beginning of the month?
Ida. This one you're talking about?
12 months plus
Plus
1
1
month.
month. Okay. So there are two formulas, right? If you see the formula, I have two formulas. I need to find out this data and I need to find out this data. And these two data will add and divide by 2, correct? Now, please tell me that number of months from the date of last withdrawal. In my second example, when am I finally withdrawing the last money in the financial year? On which date am I withdrawing this 5,000?
At the end of the month, sir.
No, I twisted the case. That case we completed. I said you that I'm giving you second case. As per that case, money is withdrawn. Now this case is money withdrawn monthly at beginning of every month. This is the second case. If I am withdrawing the money in the beginning of every month, now please tell me, if I withdraw the last amount in the financial year, on what date I'll withdraw it?
31st March, sir.
Kana beginning. So my withdrawn is
Oh,
monthly.
1st March, sir. Yes, sir.
Beginning of the financial year. Beginning of the month is 31st March. Beginning of the month is 1st March.
Yes, sir.
See the formula. It says that number of months from the date of last withdrawal. When is the last withdrawal happening? The last withdrawal is happening on 1st March. In my case, to the end of financial year. What is end of financial year? 31st March. So from 1st March to 31st March, 1 month I'm enjoying this money. So 12 month plus 1 month divide by 2. Let me give you a third case where money is withdrawn. Money withdrawn every month in the middle of month. I'm withdrawing money definitely every month, but I'm withdrawing in middle of every month. Now please tell me. So this is the period. Okay. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, Jan, Feb. This is March. Now please tell me every month in middle I am withdrawing the money. Okay. April mid, May mid, June mid, July mid, August, September, October, November, December, Jan, Feb, March. If that is the case, if I'm withdrawing money every month, now as per the formula says that money withdrawn first time from that date. So it is 15th of, the first time I'm withdrawing on 15th of April, correct? So from 15th of April till 31st March, how many months am I enjoying this money?
Half a month, sir.
It is 11 and a half months. So 15th April, from 15th April. So 15th April to 31st March, it is 11 and a half months I'm utilizing this money, correct? What is the formula? The formula is number of months the money is used from the date of first withdrawal. First withdrawal is happening on 15th of April. 15th of April, first money is withdrawn. So from that till the end of financial year, I'm using this money for 11 and a half months. So this is the first item. So 11.5 months. Now I have to add with this the second part. It says that number of months the money is withdrawn or money is used from the date of last withdrawal. When am I withdrawing last? 15th March. My last withdrawal in the financial year is on 15th March. So from 15th of March till March end, from 15th of March to 31st of March, I'm utilizing this money for 0.5 months, half month. 0.5 means half. So 0.5 month I'm utilizing this money. So 11.5 plus 0.5 divided by 2, I'll get 12 months by 2, I'll get 6 months. If you come to the table, if I'm withdrawing money every month and that too in the middle of the month, then 6 is the average period. Is anybody got doubt? I'll give you one example for quarterly and one example of half yearly, and you have to calculate the rest. Now let's try an example of quarterly. Guys, are you able to recollect the formula? Now money is withdrawn. First condition, every quarter. What is a quarter, guys? Quarter and the quarter கிடையாது. இந்த quarter வேற. Kushal?
4 months, sir.
Aye, once in 3 months.
3 months.
Frequency is beginning of every quarter. Beginning of every quarter. Okay, this is the case. Now please tell me what is the formula. Formula says that number of months the money was utilized from the date of first withdrawal. Now please tell me, Nidit, you have a doubt?
No, sir, I did by mistake.
Okay, now if I open the financial calendar year, if you see here first quarter, second quarter and third quarter. So this is Q1, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3 and quarter 4. So this consists of April, then in between I have May, then June, right? April, May, June is first quarter. Then July, August and September is another quarter. October, November and December is another quarter. Jan, Feb and March is fourth quarter, right? So every quarter. Now first condition, every quarter I'm withdrawing the money. If I'm withdrawing the money every quarter, how many money? 4 times. Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. So total 4 times this guy will withdraw money. Okay. Now please tell me, when was this guy withdrawing the money? On which date did he first withdraw money? Now if I'm withdrawing every quarter and that to beginning of the quarter, first withdrawal I'm doing on which date? Sabari.
April.
First withdrawal I'm doing on which date?
Sir,
Let's say you and I are partner. You are withdrawing money every quarter, once in every 3 months. Okay.
okay, sir.
So when is the first time you will be withdrawing the money? Obviously in
1st
quarter 1.
April.
Quarter
Yes,
1,
sir.
quarter 1, 1st April. So 1st April is the period when you are first withdrawing the money. So from 1st April to 31st March, how many months?
12.
Okay. Okay. Next question is number of you need to tell me the date on which you withdrew the last time. In the entire financial year, when was the last time you withdraw the money?
December. I mean
Not
January
December.
1st.
January 1st. Yes. So now Sabri has withdrawn last time in quarter 4, that too on 1st January. Now from 1st January to 31st March, please tell me how many months did you utilize this money, Sabri?
Sir,
From 1st Jan you withdraw the money to the end of financial year. The formula says that from the 1st January to end of the financial year, how many months have you enjoyed this money? 3 months.
yes, sir.
So the formula is 12 month plus 3 month divided by 2. What is 12 plus 3?
15.
Divided by 2.
7.5.
So if I go to the table, if I go to my table, not my table, somebody's table. So I am withdrawing money every quarterly, and the frequency is at the beginning of the financial year. The formula is 7.5. Guys, are you able to follow how to do it? Do you want me to do one more time for quarterly, or can I move for half yearly?
So can you do one more type?
Okay, I'll do in middle of the year, middle of the quarter. Okay. Now, next case. Money is withdrawn. First is every quarter. Okay. Second is, what is the frequency? Frequency is middle of quarter. Okay. Now, okay. So this period, which is April to April, May, June, is quarter 1. July, August, September is quarter 2. October, November, and December, this period is quarter 3. And January, February, and March is my quarter 4. Now, please tell me, what is the first date? What is the first date when I am withdrawing the money? Please tell me the first date of withdrawal of money.
May 15, sir.
15. Correct? So, April, May, June. So, April it's got 30 days. April to May, 30 days. May to June. Sorry, April, May, April. Okay, April has got how many days? 30 days. May has got 31 days. And June has got 30 days. So, how do I calculate? So, 30 plus 31 plus 30 is how much?
Sir, how is the starting date May 15th?
I'll tell you, that's what I'm calculating. How many months, how many days April has got, Kushal?
April.
days.
Yes, sir. 30
Yes, sir.
days.
Yes, sir.
May
30
31, June 30 days. So how much is this put together? 91?
91.
Yes, sir.
Okay. They say that middle of the quarter. Okay. So this 91 days constitute one quarter. And they say that in middle of every quarter, what is the frequency in middle of the quarter? So 91, what is the middle portion of 91? Can I say 45 or 46?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now from 1st April, if you calculate 1st April plus 45 days, which date will it come? I repeat, listen to me very carefully. What am I doing is now, this guy is withdrawing money in the middle of every quarter. Okay. One quarter will consist of 91 days, 90 or 91 days or 92 days, depending on the month. So if you take quarter 1, April will consist of 30 days, May will consist of 31, and June will consist of 30 days. So put together 91 days. So in middle of 91 means somewhere it will be 45 days or 46th day I would have withdrawn the money. Correct? So what is that 45th day happens to be? How will I calculate from April 1st? From 1st April plus 45 days. If you calculate, it will eventually come to be 15th of May. Kushal, did you get it now?
Yes, sir.
From May 15 to end of financial year, which is 31st March, how many months have you enjoyed this money? From 12, you minus 1.5. 10.5 months.
Yes, sir.
May का आधा है रे.
Sir, yes, sir.
June पूरा enjoy किया. So June, July, August, September, October, November, December, Jan, Feb, March. 10 months you completely enjoyed. And May oda mid 15th அப்புறம் enjoy பண்ணிருக்கியா? So 10 மாசம் enjoy பண்ணிருக்க. Correct? Now, when is my last withdrawal happening? In Q4. In Q4, last withdrawal is taking place, right or wrong? If the last withdrawal is happening on Q4, in which date am I withdrawing the money?
Feb 15.
Correct. So same concept, 15th Feb. So 15th Feb, I'm withdrawing the money. So from 15th Feb to 31st March, which is the end of financial year, how many months am I enjoying this money?
1.5.
Feb Padi, March full. Seriya? So 1.5 month, I'm enjoying this money. So the formula says 10.5 month plus 1.5 month divided by 2, which will be how much? 12 by 2, which is 6. So on an average, that 60,000 rupees I've enjoyed for 6 months. Are you able to follow?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, but in all these calculations,
Yes.
we'll not take the number of days of the month, no, sir. Only the
Not take-
months.
yeah, it is month only. We'll take only month. That is how the formula is designed, Kana. Because if it is days, your calculation will become very critical. If
Yes.
the calculation becomes very critical, I would prefer doing this. Which one, the one which we did the last class. I would prefer doing that.
Okay, sir.
Right? This is far more easier. That is the reason they have given the formula in months. Right? So as per our illustration 12, the money is withdrawn every month, and at that too at the end of the month. So the average period will work out to be 5.5 months. So here it will be 5.5. The formula is 60,000. That is the total amount of drawing made in the entire year. 60,000 I have withdrawn the money in the entire year into 6 by 100 into 5.5 divided by 12. Right? That's what is done. So if I come back to my board, now 60,000 is the money that I have used in the entire month. So into 6 by 100. What is the interest, Kana? Can somebody tell me? The 60,000 is the money that I have withdrawn in the year, and the interest on drawing is 6%. So what is the interest? Can somebody tell me?
3,600, sir.
Now please think and tell me, if 3,600 if I'm charging from the partner, will it be right?
No, sir.
This 60,000 means that the 60,000 you have enjoyed full month. The point to be remembered here is the 60,000 I have not enjoyed entire month. No doubt the 60,000 I have withdrawn from the firm. But see the frequency. 5,000 I have utilized for 11 months. Next 5,000 I have utilized for 10 months. So like that way, I've been using 5 months at a different point of time. So that is the reason this 3,600, if they charge interest on me, it will be wrong. So I need to know this 3,600 is interest for the entire year. This 3,600 means interest of entire year on 60,000 rupees. Okay. Now the question is, I have not enjoyed the 60,000 entire year. I have been using this 5,000 rupees in bits and parts every month, right? Some month I've utilized this money only for 1 month. Some 5,000 I've utilized only for 2 months. Some 5,000 I've utilized only for 3 months. So it will not be fair to charge 60,000 rupees interest on 6% for entire year, because this is 6% per annum. 6% is for the entire year. So charging entire 6% just like that will be wrong. So this 3,600 means interest of on 60,000 rupees for entire year. But I have not used the 60,000 for the entire year. So I need to calculate this 3,600 I've used for how many months. I've utilized this. So divide by 12. So this 3,600 divide by 12. You'll get for 1 month. So what is the answer, Kana? 3,600 divided by 12 if I do, what will be the answer? 12?
300, sir.
36. So 300. So this 300 rupees is the monthly interest, and I have on an average used this 300 this amount for 5 months. What am I doing now is I'm trying to break the formula into bits and parts. Okay. What is the formula? The formula says that 60,000 into 6 by 100 into 5.5 divided by 12. This is the formula. Right? So 300 into 5.5. So 1650. So 1650, you will get the answer. But I want you to understand what is the logic behind this. So I'm trying to break this formula. How did I break? I tried to calculate this first. So 60,000 into 6 by 100 is how much? 3,600. Okay. So this 3,600 is the interest that I am paying for entire 60,000 entire year. But unfortunately, I did not utilize the 60,000 for the entire year. Is there anybody who is telling that the 60,000 is, let's say you are the partner, and if I tell you that, let's say you guys have withdrawn this money and you utilize the 60,000 for the entire year, will you accept my point? Anybody? Did you enjoy the 60,000 entire month? First of all, You need to confirm me that. If you understand that, only then I can go to the next point. Are you convinced that I did not enjoy the 60,000 in the entire year? Are we convinced with this point first? All of you. I want answer from all of you. If anybody who's not understood, please tell me. I'll explain once again. What are we trying to calculate is what is the amount that you have withdrawn. The total amount that I have withdrawn is 60,000, no doubt. But this 60,000 I did not enjoy a full year, because some money 5,000 I enjoyed for 11 months, some 5,000 I've enjoyed for 10 months, another 5,000 I enjoyed for 9 months. So like this is the scenario in which I've enjoyed the money. So if I calculate 60,000 to 6 by 100, this means this 3,600 means I'm paying interest on the 60,000 rupees, and the 60,000 I have in the entire year. So this will be wrong. So if you have not enjoyed the 60,000 in the entire year, then how many months have you enjoyed this? Okay. So first time, what am I doing is this 3,600 I'm dividing by 12. So this 3,600 is for 12 months. Okay. This is for entire year, 12 months. So I'm dividing by 12. If I divide by 12, for how many months will I get the answer? I'll get 300 for how many months?
1 month.
This 300 is for 1 month. Okay. And how many months, as per the calculation, how many months on an average did you utilize the 60,000 rupees? This 60,000 rupees
5.5.
on an average I've enjoyed on 5.5 for 5.5 months on an average. This is average calculation. So on an average, if I utilize the 60,000 for 5.5 months, the interest what I'll be paying is 1650. What did I do? This 6,000 into 6 by 100 I calculated. This 60,000 into 6 by 100, 3,600 I calculated, then divided by 12. Then I multiplied with 5.5. That's what I did. Are you able to follow the logic or concept? See guys, simple. You can very well buy out the formula. You can buy out the table, and you are totally good to go and solve the problem. But all those people, those who want to learn conceptually, I have taught you the concept today. All those who still want to buy out, what you have to do is, you have to remember this formula. So you have to remember this table. Okay, you have to remember this table. Come back to your solution. Come back here and apply your average period in this formula, and you're done with the solution. Okay, you apply the formula here, you apply that average table value here, and you're done with the answer, right? So if you feel that, no sir, if in question they twist and give me different way, how will I able to do it? Then you can learn the concept. If you learn the concept, I think you can apply this concept anywhere at any point of time. If all of you have understood this, I will come or conclude illustration 12. So interest on drawing is income for the business or expense for the business? Please tell me.
Income, sir.
So can I say credit all incomes and gains? So I'm crediting interest on drawing, and this money has to be recovered. I need to gain this money from partners. So partners are like debtors for me, and they have to give me the money, right? So I'm debiting capital. I'm debiting both the partners' capital account. Sonu's capital does it because debit. Hello, guys, can you hear me?
Debit all expenses and losses.
No. That is for, see, this is not, Sonu's capital account is not nominal account. This is, hello, guys. Now this is the money which we have to receive from the partners. So asset is something which we have to receive. So asset is a debit balance. So I need to debit Sonu's capital. Right? So Sonu's capital account debit to interest on drawing, because I have to receive money from Sonu's capital. This is as good as debtors to sale. Sorry, I think I'm making it wrong. Sorry. Right? This.
Not understand.
No, wait. So wait. Let me break it one by one. Interest on drawing, is it income for the business or not?
Yes, sir.
So can I credit income?
Yes, sir.
And this money, who should give me? Partners.
The partners, sir.
So if the business has to receive the money, don't you think that is an asset? Asset is something what you receive. So asset will have either two things. It will have debit balance only. So to increase the asset, I need to give a debit. So Sonu's capital account, Rajat's capital account to interest on drawing. This money has to come from Sonu, right? What is the entry? What is the entry that you pass for credit sales?
Creditor account debtor to sales.
Credit sales.
Yes, sir.
Creditor account varade. Debtor or இல்லையா?
Debtor, sorry.
To sale.
Yes, sir. Debtor account, debtor to sales.
Sale is income. Sale is your income.
Yes,
or
sir.
no? Interest is your income.
Yes, sir.
Both
Yes,
are
sir.
credited.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Debtor is the person who has to pay you the money.
Yes, sir.
You're debiting it. Sonu
Yes, sir.
and Rajat are the person who have to pay you. You're debiting it. அவ்வளவுதான். So now tell me, what is the golden rule or what is the modern technique you apply for debtors to sale? What is the modern technique you apply for debtors? Please tell me. சொல்லுங்கடா. Increase in asset. I will debit debtor to increase the asset. Similarly, Sonu's capital account, increasing asset is equal to decreasing liability. Do you agree? Increase.
Yes, sir.
Hello? Yeah, Kotrave?
I didn't say anything, sir.
Somebody said something. Who said? So
Nothing, I think so.
on what principles you record debtors to sale? This is the same principle you record Sonu's capital, because this is the money we have to receive from Sonu, right? And Rajat. So we need to debit the person from whom we have to receive the money and credit income. So this is the first entry. Second entry will be transferring income to P&L appropriation account. So this is the due entry and this is the transfer entry. Are we clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Will
sir.
you be able to manage? So whenever the interest on drawing, so in this case, please mark illustration 12 and make a comment there. Go through only interest on drawing, because in this concept, everything else you would have studied. Interest on drawing is new. In this interest on drawing, it's a two concept we are learning. Okay, in this sum, with regard to interest on drawing, there are two concepts. One is, if you see Sonu is withdrawing totally 20,000 for the year. If he's withdrawing total 20,000 in a year, then this is the formula, right? In case if you're withdrawing the fixed amount of money plus at fixed interval, then we are using the second formula. Fixed interval, then we are using another formula. So please go through this illustration. This interest on drawing, we are finding out using two types, right? This formula for Rajat, whatever the formula we calculated for Rajat, we will use only when there is fixed amount that is withdrawn at a fixed interval. If you see Sonu's case, Sonu was not withdrawing fixed amount at fixed interval. He withdrew 20,000 in one shot on a particular date. That case, my calculation becomes very simple, that whenever he withdraw that money into 6 by 100 into the number of months in which he has enjoyed the money. So Sonu's case will be a simple straightforward calculation. But when I'm withdrawing money on every month or every quarter, every half yearly basis, that is on fixed intervals, and that too the amount is fixed, then I'll be using this formula. Am I clear with this point? Guys, I want a yes from you to proceed. If no, I'll again re-explain. I have no problem.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Nandini says yes. Okay, who is missing in this? 19 participants are only there. Can you please check for your friends? I think Tanushri is not here.
Yes, sir.
Apart from Tanushri, one more person is not here.
Sneha, sir.
Sneha is not here. Okay. Okay, theek hai. Guys, if you are okay with this, then I'll proceed forward. Anybody who is not understood, please let me know. If there's 1 or 2%, then I'll take it over the call. If all of you have not understood or majority of people not understood, I'll repeat. I have no problem. Right? So this concept, this particular formula, which I'm showing to you, I have WhatsApped you. So please take a printout of this and you can solve it. So if you have any doubt in solving all this 6 tabular items, please give me a call. I'll help you out. Okay. Can we proceed forward?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in last class, I missed out one concept, which is on page number illustration 11, right? That is illustration 11.
So page number 2.20.
This one? Okay, yes. Okay, now, yes. So we have to read this. Now it says that appropriation are more than available profit. Can somebody tell me what does this mean?
Sir, the items for P&L appropriation account amount for more than net profit, sir.
Okay, right. You're right. So what happened? This is trading account, this is P&L account, and this is P&L appropriation. Okay. The profit what I have is, let's suppose 3 lakh rupees is the profit what I have. Okay. Now the amount that I have to appropriate, the amount that I have to distribute to the partners in form of salary or commission or let's say interest on capital, etc. Let's say for partner one, first partner it is, let's say 2 lakh rupees. Okay. And the second partner, I have to give the salary or commission or interest, whatever it is, let's say 3 lakh rupees. So totally I need to pay 5 lakh rupees to them. But unfortunately, I have only 3 lakh. Now this 3 lakh, in what ratio should I give to first partner and second partner? I cannot give entire 3 lakh to second partner. Or I cannot tell that, this from this 3 lakh, 2 lakh has to be given to the first partner and balance 1 lakh I'll give to the second partner. The second partner will not accept. So how do we calculate in such a way that both of them get the proper share what they deserve? So that is what we are trying to understand here. Is the question clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now it says that it is also a possibility that the total amount of appropriation as per the deed, total of amount of appropriation means the value of salary or commission or interest, all this put together as per the partnership deed is more than the amount available as profit for distribution or appropriation, which means the amount which you are supposed to appropriate or distribute as per partnership deed will be more than the actual profit available for distribution or appropriation. In such situation, the profit available for the distribution among the partners is distributed in the ratio of appropriation to be made. Now, this is what we are going to study. What is the ratio of appropriation? The ratio of appropriation is determined in the following way. What is the step? Determine the amount payable. No, I'll not explain this. Rather, I'll take an example and I'll show it to you. Then you come and read the theory. Now, let's take an example. Atul and Amit are partners in the firm. Okay. As per the partnership deed, partners are to get a salary of 1 lakh and 1.2 lakh per annum respectively. Can somebody tell me what is the meaning of this word respectively?
Atul will get 1 lakh and Amit will get 1.2 lakhs. Sir.
Respectively means, if you see the statement, there are two partners, Atul and Amit. As per the deed, one will get 1 lakh and another will get 1.2 lakh. Now, my question is, 1 lakh will Amit get or Atul get? This 1.2 lakh will Amit.
Sir.
Yeah. So, if you're telling this 1 lakh will be gained by Atul and this 1.2 lakh will be gained by Amit, if that is understanding, if you want to draw, then this adding this word is very important. Respectively means in the same order of the partner's name. Who's this here?
Sundari, sir.
Sundari. Now, if you want to, if the word respectively is added, it means that in the same order of the partners, the amount will flow. So, Atul ka 1 lakh, Amit ka 1.2 lakhs. Okay. So they say that respectively, they'll get this amount as salary and further interest on capital at the rate of 10% per annum, which is 20,000 and 40,000 respectively, which means 20,000 for Atul and 40,000 for Amit. The net profit for the year is 2,10,000 rupees. Okay. 2,10,000 rupees will be apportioned in the ratio of 3:4 as well. Now we don't know this 3:4. We'll calculate. Wait. Now, what is the amount that I have to pay to Atul? Atul, I have to pay salary of 1 lakh, interest on capital 20,000 rupees. So totally I have to pay Atul 1.2 lakh. Do you agree with me? Guys, somebody has to answer to proceed.
Yes, sir.
The total amount that has to be paid to Atul is 1,20,000 rupees. The breakup is salary 1 lakh, 20,000 interest on capital. Similarly, the amount to be paid to Amit is 160. How? 1,20,000 against salary, 40,000 against interest on capital. Now, please tell me this 1.2 lakh plus 1.6 lakh put together, what is the total?
Two lakh 80, sir.
2,80,000 rupees is the total amount that has to be paid. How much profit do you have to pay? How much profit do you have to distribute or pay?
2,10,000.
So can I say my profit is less than the amount available for distribution?
Yes, sir.
Now then what happens is, what you have to do is, you have to take the total of this amount, 120 and 16, and you have to do the ratio. You know how to do the ratio? So what will happen is, I'll cut off these 4 zeros. In both of these things, I think if you're a mathematics student, you'll understand it fast. And all those who have not taken mathematics, I'll tell you how the ratio needs to be derived. So 12 lakh is to 1,60,000 rupees. 1,20,000 is to 1,60,000 rupees. I'm sorry. So what will happen is, I will eliminate the common item. So 4 zeros are in common, correct? So what am I left with? 12 is to 16, correct?
Yes, sir.
Guys, what I just did is, whatever is the common zeros, I'll eliminate. Here there are 4 common zeros in both of these items. So I've eliminated that. So what is balance left? 12 and 6. Now please tell me, I need one particular multiplication item where I can divide this both. So please tell me
4.
which table will divide both of these items.
4.
2 table and 4 table, correct? So I will use 4 table because 4 is the highest table. I can do it fasterly. So 4th table, if I take 4 ones are 4, 4 twos are 8, 4 threes are 12, 4 fours are 16. டேய் சின்ன பிள்ளைங்களுக்கு மேக்ஸ் சொல்லி கொடுக்குற மாதிரி இருக்கு எனக்கு. நான் அக்கவுண்ட்ஸ் டீச்சர் மாதிரி ஃபீல் வரல. புரியுதா? இதுக்கு மேல மேக்ஸ் சொல்லி கொடுக்க முடியாது என்னால. Are you able to follow how this ratio is derived 3:4?
Yes, sir.
What I did is, first I have to total the amount which I have to pay each partner. Okay, put this total is to this total. Eliminate the common zeros. Then take whatever the amount is left, right? And try to divide these two with a common, what do you call, common number?
Multiple, sir.
Common multiple. Yes, thank you for helping me out. So divide this with common multiples. If I see in this case, in the multiplication table of 4, I can divide these both numbers. So 4 3s are 12, 4 4s are 16, right? So I have to divide this 2,10,000 rupees in the ratio of 3:4, which means out of 7 pizzas, Atul will take 3 and Amit will take 4. That is what it means. So, sir, not fixed amount and time. Okay, common factor. Okay, Sundari had a doubt. Monal, are you with me? Just type yes or no. Sundari says, sir, what will happen if the amount is fixed, not fixed? Okay, I'll explain that. Okay. What is common factor, Kana? 726. You mean to say Aditya just wanted to say that you have to divide with the common factor, correct? Okay. I'll keep this on side. Sundari, I'll come back to your question in some time after completing this. And Monal, are you okay? Are you able to understand? Yes, sir. Okay, great. Now, okay, now what happens? I'm ordering 7 slices of pizzas. 3 will be taken by Atul and 4 will be taken by Amit. So if this, now you have to understand this. So 2,10,000 is equal to 7. If this 2,10,000 is equal to 7, then how much will 3 will be equal to? Then cross multiply. What will be the formula? 2,10,000 into 3 by 7. This is for Atul. For Amit, it will be 2,10,000 if this is equal to 7 pizzas. Then if Atul is taking 3 pizzas home, then how much portion of 2,10,000 will he take? So cross multiply. This is 4, not 3, 4. So 2,10,000 into 4 by 7. That's what they have done here. You'll get 90,000 and 1,20,000 rupees. Anybody who's not understood? This ratio is very important, guys. This multiplication, what I'm doing here, this is very, very important because the entire partnership is the fundamental, the basis on which you'll derive the amount is on this only. So this calculation is very important. Are you guys clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can we do illustration 11? Aditya, can you please read illustration 11? Aditya, I think, is replying message, so I think he's not able to speak, Sayukta, can you read it for me, Kana, please?
Sir, his mic is not working properly, sir.
Okay, I understand. No problem. Sayukta, can you read it, Kana?
Sir?
Kana, can you please read illustration 11?
Yes, sir. Ajay and Vijay are partners sharing profits in the ratio of 3:2. Ajay is a non-working partner and contributes 20 lakhs as his capital.
Okay.
Vijay is a working partner of the firm. The partnership deed provides for interest on capital at 8% per annum and salary to every working partner at 8,000 per month. Profit before providing for interest on capital and partner salary for the year ended 31st March 2020 was rupees 80,000.
Okay,
Show
great.
the distribution of profit.
Perfect. Now there are two partners, Ajay and Vijay. Now Ajay is a non-working partner, okay, and Vijay is a working partner, right? They say that so Ajay has contributed 20 lakhs, okay. So since he's contributed the capital, he says that since I'm giving you the money, I'll not do the work. And since Vijay has not contributed capital, he's telling that salary because I'm working hard for this firm. It's fair. So now please tell me, as per the partnership deed, the interest on capital is 8%. So interest on capital for Ajay will be how much? 20 lakh into 8 by 100. Interest on capital will be
Yes, sir.
20 lakh into 8 by 100. So what will be the interest on capital? 50,000 rupees. And there is no interest on capital, zero interest on capital for Vijay because he has not contributed the capital. Right. So the second point says partnership deed says the salary has to be provided to every working partner at 8,000 per month. So salary for Ajay, there will be zero salary because he's not a working partner, so he'll not get salary. So Vijay will get how much? 8,000 into 12. Guys, please tell me 8,000 into 12 is how much?
Right. 96,000, sir.
96,000 rupees. Okay.
So interest on capital is 20
sorry,
lakh 100 is 1,60,000.
This is 160. I'm sorry, my mistake. So 20 lakh into 8 by 100 is 1,60,000. 8 2s are 8 1s are 8 2 16. 1,60,000. You're right. Okay. My mistake. So this is 1,60,000 rupees. Guys, is this correct? Now,
Yes.
total of 1,60,000 plus 96 is how much? Total. ₹2,56,000 rupees. The total is 2,56,000 rupees. Yes or no?
2,12,000, sir.
Wait, 8,000 into 12 is 96,000 plus 1,60,000 rupees. So it is 2,56,000. Am I correct? Yes, it is given here. See, 1,60,000 plus 96 is 256. Now, how much profit do you have with yourself?
80,000.
Correct. Okay. So can I say I'm falling short of profit? So what will I do is what I said. So 1,60,000 is to 96,000. I'm taking the total. Okay. Total of each partner. So how many zeros are common here?
3.
3 here
3.
and 3 here. So can I say it is 160 is to 96? Correct. Now please tell me in which multiplication table will both of this will be commonly divisible. So 96 divided by 12 if I do, I'm getting 8. And 160 divided by 12 if I do, I'm getting, so 12 is not divisible. Which is the table? In which 16 table?
Yes, sir. 16, 6 and 96.
Okay. So 6. If I divide this by 16, divide by 16. So I'll get 10 is to 6. Correct? Can I further divide this 10 is to 6? Further simplify. Huh? By multiplication table of 2, can I divide it? So 2 5s are 10
Yes,
and 2 3 6. Can I further divide this 5 by 3?
no, sir.
Rohit, what have you texted, Rohit? Okay. Now, so 5:3. So this is the final ratio, correct? So I have to divide this 80,000 rupees in the ratio 5:3. So what is the total of 5:3? 8.
Yes, sir.
So this 80,000 equals to how many? 8. If this 80,000 equal to 8, then how much is equal to 5? Cross multiply. Second is, if this 80,000 is equal to 8, then how much is it equal to 3? Cross multiply. So this will be 80,000 into 5 by 8. This will be 80,000 into 3 by 8. So you will get how much?
50,000 and 30,000.
50,000 and 30,000.
30,000.
Right? Are you able to follow? How do we do this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now what will happen is I am creating P&L appropriation account. So from my P&L account, I've transferred 80,000 from my P&L account, right? And I'm appropriating this. So 50,000 as per my calculation here and 30,000 as per my calculation here. So from 80,000, what is the journal entry for this interest on capital and salary? It will be P&L appropriation account to interest on capital. The journal entry for this P&L appropriation to interest on Ajay's capital, and this will be P&L appropriation to salary of Vijay's capital account, right? Since I don't have any other amount left, I will not be dividing the profit sharing ratio. So whatever the amount this 50 and 30 is, I'll transfer to the respective capital account. Are we clear with this concept, guys? Don't worry, take
Yes,
your time. I'll wait for 2 minutes. Take your time. If you have any doubt, ask me right away.
Yes, sir.
Sayukta, Kushal, Paras,
Understood, sir.
Nidyati, Harini, Uttara.
No doubt, sir.
Sir, I have
Guys,
a
I
doubt.
definitely say this is little tricky, but we'll have to overcome this only by through practice. That is the reason I'm telling you keep revising it, because if you do not revise, you will forget by the end of this month. So if you take my experience, this partnership you'll have to revise in April at least minimum of 3 times. Minimum 3 times, I'm telling you, right? And the same partnership, whatever you're studying in month of May, you have to revise at least for 2 times. Only then this will go into your head. I'm telling you, otherwise by the time you come to June, July, everything will be off your head. I'm telling you, trust me, I'm telling you, I swear I'm telling you, you'll forget it.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes, Kanna.
Sir, you wrote over there, no, sir, 1,60,000 is to 96,000.
Correct.
Do you have any other method to do that?
Another method is, if you don't want to divide this, if you don't want to simplify to 5:3, what I would do is, another method is, this 160 is to 96 is there, no? I'll total this. What is the total of this? 256.
Yes, sir.
So the formula can be, if you don't want to divide this further, what you can do is, this 80,000 is equal to 256, then how much will it be equal to 160? If this 80,000 for next partner, if this is equal to 256, how much it will be for 96? These are the only 2 options. Either you divide here, if you don't want to spend your head dividing here, you divide it here. But you have to go through this division. The
So
only
that
help,
is easy to do that thing.
the second method, if it is easy, you can follow the second method.
So no,
Right,
sir, I'm
but-
talking about the first one.
First one is easy, then you have to go with first method. Unfortunately, I wish they could have given you a calculator, because it would have been a little bit easy. But we don't have the calculator, so you will have to be very strong in the multiplication table right from 2 to 20. Right? So please go back to your first standard. Request those kids to give you a multiplication table book, and please try to mug those multiplication tables. That is only that can help you. Okay, guys, is this understood? I did not get answer from everybody.
Yes, sir.
Understood, sir.
Right? So how many times will you revise the chapter partnership, whatever I'm teaching you now in the month of April? How many times will you do the revision? When I say revision, not necessary to write down every time. Maybe one time you can write down, remaining 2 times you can just go through the way I'm going. I'm just going through now, right? Ultimately, you need to just recapture those points. So how many times will you do minimum revision in April? Minimum. Kushal? Kushal, Paras, Sayukta, Uttara, Harini.
Times, sir.
Minimum?
Okay.
3 times minimum revision. Trust me, or else you'll not be able to recollect it, because each and every sum is a different concept. So you have so many concepts to keep in your mind. So brain will not be able to remember everything. You need to continuously revise so that you can have it in your database. Right? If this understanding is clear, I'll give you 5 minutes break. Okay, so it is 7:40 now. Or else if you say no break, then I'll go to next topic.
Sir, not 10 minutes break, sir.
Kana, if I do 10 minutes break, it's 7:40 already. If you're all of you are okay with 8:30, then I can go till 8:30. Then I'll give you 10 minutes break. Now my head pain is little okay, so I'm okay to take till 8:30. If you're not okay with 8:30, I'll wind up by 8 o'clock. But I cannot give break then. Maybe I can give you maximum 5 minutes break.
Sir, no need break, sir. We'll finish it at
We'll finish
8.
it off. In 20 minutes I'll complete. Or let's take 5 minutes break. Take 5 minutes break. Relax completely. I will start by 7:45, and by 8 o'clock or 8:05 maximum I'll wind up.
Okay, sir.
Take 5 minutes break. Guys, come back.
Sir, I'm here only, sir.
Yeah, is everybody here? Roshni, Sundari,
Yes, sir.
Monal. Okay.
Yes,
So Sundari, you had asked one question that, sir, what will happen if the amount of drawing and the period of drawing is not same, right? So I said you that if you have the fixed amount and fixed if you're withdrawing at fixed interval, then you can use this method called average method, right? So average period method is when you have fixed amount and fixed interval time, right? So what happens if either the amount is not fixed or the interval is not fixed? In that case, we'll have to do the method what we did the other day. One second, guys, 1 second. This board is not moving. So basically, if the amount is not fixed and the withdrawing period is not fixed, then you will have to use this method, which we did the other day, the big method. So this is called direct method, right? So you'll have to use this kind of method, which is called direct method. Right? So this is called direct method. So whenever the amount is not, either amount is not fixed, amount not fixed, or period is not fixed. If any one is happening, then you have two methods. One is direct method, another one is called product method. So direct method is this. Product method, what I'll do is I'll try to teach you in the next class, and I'll see if this is on this basis, if there are any questions, then I'll teach you this method, or else I'll skip this method, right? So if the amount is fixed and the period is fixed, then we use average period method. If the amount is not fixed, or amount is fixed but period is not fixed, then we use either direct method or product method, right? I'll try to give you the examples and illustration from State Board 12 State Board book on direct method and product method, so that you can get a rough understanding of how it is supposed to be worked out. Sundari, is your query answered? Sundari, if you are able to listen me, please text. Did you answer? Did I answer the question what you asked? Okay, she says yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, great. So let's go further.
Sir,
Yes, Kana.
what about when the drawings are different for each month, sir?
That's what drawings are different for each month. Then you have to use either direct method or product method. That's what I said, Dilly. Yeah. When the month, the amount withdrawn is different. Let's say April month it is 5,000. In May month it is 6,000. July it is 7,000. Right? Amount is different or period is different. Either or different, then you have to use either direct method. What is direct method? This is the big method which we did the other day. This is called direct method. Okay. And one more method is called product method. This product method is little faster than direct method. So in next class, I'll teach you what is product method. I'll take the photocopy of that and put it across so that I can explain you easily. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Let me go ahead. In 11th standard, we learned something called manager's commission. If you remember, I mean, if you learned it really well.
What, sir?
Sir, I know only one line, sir.
Sorry, Kana.
I know only one line of that, sir. If it is a profit, we'll give manager's commission, or we won't give manager's commission.
Okay. And Roshni, Nandini, Kushal, Sayukta, Paras, do you remember this point? This is the point which we studied in final accounts, part 2 of 11th standard.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So Sayukta will today solve illustration 14. So I'll read it for her because since she's solving it, so I'll help her reading it. So Sayukta, the question says that. வேணாமா அது சரிப்பா நீங்க 6 பேர் இருக்கீங்களே 6 பேர் ஒரு டீமா ஃபார்ம் பண்ணி டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணி ஆன்சர் சொல்லுங்க.
Okay.
இதுக்கு மேல சீட்டிங் அலோவ் பண்ண முடியாது. X and Y as partners in a firm. X is to get 10% commission. X is to get a commission of 10% of net profit before charging any commission. Okay. Next, Y is to get commission of 10% on net profit after charging all the commission. So net profit for the year ended 31st March 2020 is 55,000. Now please tell me, calculate and tell me what is the commission that I need to pay X and what is the commission I need to pay Y.
X we can directly do, sir. 10 into 55,000.
அப்படி வர நான் ஒரே நிமிஷமா ஒயிட் போர்டு ஓபன் பண்றேன், நீ சொல்ல சொல்ல எழுதிடுறேன். ஒரே செகண்ட், I'll just open this.
Correct, sir.
Okay. Now I want to first understand what is the question. It says that X will get commission of 10% of net profit before charging commission. X commission is equal to 10% of 10% of net profit. Which net profit? This net profit before charging any commission. This net profit should be in such a way. This 10% is of net profit before charging commission. Okay. Now 10% means 10 by 100, right or wrong?
Yes.
10% of what? Net profit.
Yes, sir.
Net profit
5,000.
before charging. The before charging means before minusing. So I want that net profit. Which net profit? That should be before charging commission. Now tell me, in the question, the commission 55,000 what they've given is it before charging commission or after charging commission?
Before.
Obviously,
Before
because
charging commission.
this 55,000 they want us to identify what is the commission and minus that commission and find the net profit. So obviously this 55,000 means before charging commission. So can I say net profit before charging commission is 55,000 rupees? So 55,000 into 10 by 100 is how much?
5,500.
So can I say X order commission 5,500?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is very easy, very easy. But yaar pesrade. Now Y is to get 10% commission on net profit. Seriya, 10% commission on net profit. But in the net profit, that net profit where I minus both the commission of X and commission of Y. So commission of X 5,500 I know. This is 55,000 rupees, correct? What is X commission?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
5,500.
Ada. So he's telling that Y will get commission on which net profit? This net profit. Which what is this net profit? This net profit is 55,000 minus 5,500 minus Y commission. But I don't know Y's commission, no?
So 10 by 110.
Now what I'll do is net profit, okay, 55,000 சொன்னீங்க, okay. Less X commission. How much X commission do you know? You've calculated X commission allave தெரியும், it is 5,500.
5,500.
Okay. Apna, what is my answer?
49,500.
49,500. Idilende Y oda commission minus panna, I'll be getting this net profit, correct? But unfortunately, I don't have Y's amount. Now, please tell me, in case in the Y oda amount na remove panna, whatever the net profit is there, is it 100% belonging to me as a business firm or partner? if I remove this commission, can I say this 100%, this net profit is belonging to the firm? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So can I say this 49,500 belongs to two people? One is 10% belonging as commission to Y, and remaining 100% belonging to firm as net profit, right or wrong? Now please tell me, because in this 55,000 I could remove only one commission, X commission. Y commission is not removed. If Y is commission I'm not removing, this 49,500 belongs to two people, either a 10% commission to Y and 100% to firm as net profit. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
I want yes from everybody.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, everybody. Because idu puriyalana next part puriyadu. I want every 100% clarification till this point.
Understood.
They are telling that Y will get commission or net profit. Which net profit? That net profit after minusing both the commission. The word what you have to listen here is all commission. He never said X commission alone. He said all commission. All commission means including Y's commission. And the all mattum bracket la potu nalla perusa highlight pannunga. The word is very, very important. They can change the question by telling that Y will get a commission 10% on net profit after minusing X commission. Direct 49,500 into 10% I can do. But in this case, what did they do? They told that I need 10% of this net profit. This net profit is after minusing both the commission, all the commission. Purida. So this 49,500 belongs to two people, which is commission of X and firm net profit. Idu seriya? Ipo in the 49,500, so I'm using this space. 49,500, if this is equal to 110%, right? I said that this belongs to both of them. If this 49,500 is equal to 110, up 100% evlo cross multiplication. Guys, this vegetable vendor technique is a life-saving item for you. It can help you at every places. Right? So please understand this technique. If this 49,500 is belonging to 110%, which is two people, appo ortharukku mattum evlo? Ortharukku evlo? What will be the answer? Cross multiply. So 49,500 into 100 divided by 110. You'll get how much? I'll use my calculator. 49,500 divided by 110.
45,000.
45,000 rupees. Seriya? Appo can I say this 45,000 is a net profit after minusing all commission?
Yes, sir. To the firm.
Ama, because I understand the 49,500 la 45,000 belongs to 100% belong to the firm, and on this 45,000 they need 10%. So 10% of commission on net profit after minusing all commission. Net profit after minusing all commission. So net profit after charging all commission will be 45,000, because in the 55,000 in the 5,500 kalichta X oda portion kalichta. So this 45,000 is a net profit after charging all commission. So what is this 10 by 100 into 45,000? What will be the X commission? 4,500. Correct? Right or wrong? If you want to check if your answer is right or wrong, in the 49,500 la 45,000 firm profit na, how much is left for X? Sorry, Y. From 49,500 minus 45,000 will get 4,500. In the 4,500 match ada. இப்போ யாருக்கெல்லாம் புரிஞ்சது யாருக்கு புரியல புரியாதவங்க திருப்பி raise your hands or give me a text message or tell me that you've not understood. Sundari raises hand that she did not understand.
Sir, I didn't understand, sir.
Correct. I know. This is a tricky part. I'll come again. So please tell me how many of you have not understood it. Ravina says that she did not understand. Sundari says she did not understand. Uttara, you said right, not understood.
So me also, sir.
Kushal says, "Hey, உன்னை அடிச்சு போட்டுருவேன். நீ போன கிளாஸ்லயும் உனக்கு 4 வாட்டி எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணேது." சயுக்தா புரியுதா?
Sir, partly I understood, sir.
Sayukta, Kotrabai says partly. Sayukta 100% understood.
No,
Yes, sir, didn't
sir.
understand.
Sayukta.
I understood this sum, sir.
Okay. அப்புறம் வேற யாரு போன? ரோஷினி, old ரோஷினி. Did you understand this, Kanna? மாவன இல்லன்னு மட்டும் சொன்னேன், அப்படியே முடி புடிச்சு ஆட்டி விட்டுருவேன். இது பாத்தியா, பயத்துல அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் சொல்லி சொல்லுது. Okay, I'll repeat, don't worry.
Yes, sir, even I understood now. I went to the program again, I understood.
Okay, good. So I'm sure all those people who have attended with me, definitely by one revision will understand. Others I'll have to at least explain this two to three times. Now please tell me, have you understood X commission? Have you understood X commission?
Yes, sir.
All of you understood. I'm assuming that everybody's understood X, because this is fairly simple. They say that X order commission is 10% of net profit. Which net profit? Before charging commission. So before charging commission, what is the net profit? 55,000 rupees. So on that 10 by 100, if I do, I'll get X commission. But Y's commission is little tricky. They say that Y will get commission, which is 10%. Okay. 10% of what? 10% of net profit. Which net profit? That net profit after charging, after minusing all commission. He wants to charge 10% on net profit after minusing all commission. Now, the net profit what I have is 55,000. This net profit is before charging all commission, which is before minusing commission. So from this, I have to minus X commission, which is 5,500 we just calculated, right? From this, I have to minus Y's commission. After minusing this commission, I'll get a net profit. Okay. They said that X will get a commission which is in the net profit order 10%. Okay, I repeat, X will get a commission. X commission is equal to 10% of this net profit. But my question is, I don't know Y's commission. So without knowing Y's commission, how will I get this value? So what I do is, I try to calculate in a different way. So what I did is, net profit before charging commission is 55,000 rupees. From this, I'm minusing less X commission, which is 5,500. So this will become how much? 49,500. Now this 49,500 belongs, this 49,500 belongs to two people. One is X. X oda commission இருக்கு இதுல. ரெண்டாவது firm oda 100% profit is there, right or not? X oda 10% commission இருக்கு இதுல. இந்த 49,500 வந்து ரெண்டு பேருக்கு சொந்தமானது. X oda commission இதுல 10% இருக்கு. Firm oda profit 100% இருக்கு. இது புரிஞ்சதுனா tell me yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everybody drop me a message. All those who are not able to communicate orally, please drop me a message. Sundari,
Understood.
Ravina,
Understood, sir.
I want a message from both of you. Rohit, if till this, if this is understood, because if this is understood, I can only then explain next part. Sundari, Ravina, Rohit. Rohit says no. Rohit, what exactly you're struggling here? Okay, Ravina. Sundari says yes, sir. Ravina. Ravina, can you hear me? I'll take 5 minutes more. Rohit, they say that X will be given commission, which is 10% of net profit. Okay. And this net profit he wants after minusing all the commission from the net profit. Right. So to minus the commission, to minus the, okay, Arvind says, even I understood partly only, sir. Okay, which point can you please write, like which point you've not understood so far? If you can just type, I'll wait. Don't worry, I'll wait. Don't worry. Arvind, can you please type? Rohit, can you please type which point you're struggling? So that it becomes easy for me to make you understand. X is supposed to get commission on 10, which is 10% of the net profit. And this net profit means after minusing, right? X will get commission on this net profit, 10% on this net profit, okay? 10% of this net profit. And this net profit, how will I derive? After minus from this net profit, I have to minus both the commissions. After minusing both the commissions, whatever the net profit I'm getting, on this net profit, 10% I have to do. But the difficulty what I have is I have X commission, okay, I'll minus, but I don't have Y what I want to find out. So this net profit, so what I did is from 55,000, if I minus 5,500, I'm getting 49,500 as the net profit. This 49,500 belongs to two people. One is X, another one is firm. X க்கு என்ன சொந்தமானது? இதுல வந்து X ஓட 10% commission is there involved. And in this 49,500, firm's 100% profit is getting involved. Right? So this 49,500 belongs to two people, which is one X portion, another one is firm's portion. I am not able to find Y's commission. If I had Y's commission in the question, I would have minus this and I would have straight away got this net profit. Right? The question now here is, I have to find out Y's commission. So I have a net profit which is 55,000. From that I minus X commission. So in this 49,500 belongs to two people. In this 49,500, 10% or X commission of 10% is there, and firm's 100% profit is there. So if you say this 49,500 belongs to two people, then this 49,500 is equivalent to 110 percentage. Correct? This 49,500 belongs to two people. If this belongs to two people, how much it belongs to 100%?
Sir,
Yes.
Sir, Sundari can't hear you, sir.
1 second. Am I audible to everybody, guys?
Yes, sir.
Sundari, still you're not able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I'm not able to hear. Sundari, still you're not able to hear me? Guys, 1 second now. Can somebody type to Sundari that whether she can hear me?
Now today, so you continue this tomorrow, please.
Who's this? Roshni? Roshni?
Yes, now she can hear you, sir.
Okay, now I'll take 5 minutes in 5 minutes. Now, this 49,500 technically belongs to two people, because from this 49,500, see, very simple to understand this. From this 55,000, I'll be paying 5,500 to X commission. So balance 49,500, I have to pay something to Y. After that, whatever is left over is my firm's profit. Please understand, this 55,000 is the net profit. From this 55,000 rupees, I'll be paying X commission 5,500. Right? So what is the balance left? 49,500. From this 49,500, I have to pay X commission. And then whatever is the balance left over, it belongs to 100% as profit to the firm. So this 49,500 belongs to two people. One is 10% of X plus 100% of firm. So how much is this equal to? 110%. So how did I get 110? This 10%, which is belonging as commission to X, plus 100% of firm's profit, because profit always taken by the firm is 100%. This always will be 100%. This will always be 100%. The firm's profit will always be 100%. This will be changing depending on the percentage whatever is given in the question. If in the question, if it is given 5%, this will be 5% plus 100%, 105%. If it is given 10%, it will be 10% plus 100%, which is 110%. So this 49,500 belongs to two people. So this 49,500 is equal to 110%. If this is equal to 110%, then what is equal to 100%? In the 49,500 வந்து 110% சமம்னா 100% எவ்வளோ? I need to do a cross multiplication. If I do a cross multiplication, I'll get 49,500 into 100 divided by 110. I'll get 45,000 rupees is the net profit. This 45,000 is this portion. This 45,000 is this portion, 45,000. Right? This portion. And question says that X will get commission on this net profit. So 45,000 into 10% if I do, it will get 4,500. If I put 4,500 here, then if I do 55,000 minus 5,500 minus 4,500, I should get 45,000 rupees as the answer. If I am getting 45,000 rupees as answer, then your Y's commission is correct. I repeat, this 49,500 is equal to 110% because it belongs to two people. If this is belonging to two people, I want to know from this 49,500 how much is belonging to 1%, which is 100%. How much is belonging to the firm? The net profit belonging to the firm will be 49,500 into 100 divided by 110, which is 45,000 rupees. This 45,000 is a net profit after minusing all the commission. Okay, 10% of this will be the commission given to the buy. So 10% of 45,000 is 4,500. If I substitute this 4,500 here, 4,500 here, then from 55,000, if I minus 5,500 and minus 4,500, I will automatically get 45,000 rupees as answer. So if you come back to the illustration, if you see 5,500 is the commission of X and 4,500 is the commission that has been taken for Y. The formula is, if you want to buy hard, if you don't want to understand, if you want to buy hard, the formula is total net profit. From that minus total net profit is 55,000 minus 5,500. You'll get 49,500. So 49,500 into 10% is the commission divided by 110. If you do this formula, if you buy hard this, you will get the answer. In case if the commission is 5%, in case the commission was 5%, then it will be 49,500 into 5% divided by 105%. This formula can be derived by using our formula. Our formula says 49,500 is equal to, this is alternative method guys, this 49,500 is equal to 110%. Then how much is it equal to 10%? So it will be 49,500 into 10 by 110. This is the formula that your textbook has used. They are also following the same vegetable vendor technique. The only difference is they are not explaining you the technique. They are forcing you to buy at the formula. So the formula what they have used is 49,500 into 10 by 110. This is nothing but our vegetable vendor technique, that 49,500 belongs to 110%. Then 10%, if this 49,500 is equal to 110%, then how much is for 10%? Cross multiply, you will get the answer as 4,500 as the answer. This is the commission part. If you are putting 10% here, then you will get the value in commission. This will be 4,500 in commission. If you are putting 100% here, you will get net profit after charging all the commission. Guys, this part is little tricky. Definitely, I'm telling you, even if you understood 50%, I'm okay. Anybody who is not understood, give me a call tomorrow or after this class. I'll explain you one more time. I have no problem in explaining. Right? So come back to illustration. And the illustration page, pocha. I think that got closed. Okay. Anyways, guys, this is the end of the solution. All those people, those who have not understood, give me a call after the class, or maybe tomorrow I'll help you out. All of you can hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
So yes, okay. So we'll see tomorrow. We'll see you all tomorrow. Can we meet? So tomorrow's timing is 7 to 8. Can we meet by 6:30 to 8 tomorrow, just to compensate half an hour's loss what we did today? Are you all okay to have class from 6:30 to 8 tomorrow? 1.5 hours.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
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 sir.
sir.
Okay, just I'm trying to
Okay, sir.
compensate the loss what we had today and loss what we had yesterday, because we have a very short time to complete, right? So we'll meet tomorrow 6:30 to 8, 1.5 hours, right? Until that, please revise whatever you studied and try to solve the exercise questions, right? See you all tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.